Hey, welcome back, Mystic Games here. Starting off the part 2 of the Aquarium tour. We are going to kind of jump around each floor and do a PDA read as we were doing. So here we have the spinefish, which is a small school mentality prey fish closely related to the hoopfish. Pretty much is the hoopfish but looks like a skeleton. A combination of near translucent flesh with white rib-like markings gives this fish a deathly appearance. It takes advantage of this to avoid attention of predators. Behavior: moves in schools for protection but will disperse and flee if necessary. Whereon those fortunate enough to escape the gaze of their assailant will make for the sea floor and hide amongst the... I'm not sure what that even is, that word, detritus. Then we have the eyes. I want to say they're eyes. Yes, eyes. An extreme evolutionary adaptation where 90% of the life form's body mass is dedicated to the ocular cavity. Deep-set rings in which lens suggests specialization for identifying its predators in low-light environments long before they come into attack range. Underdeveloped fins, incapable of fast movement, the species is vulnerable to agile predators at close range. Shark species may have evolved hunting techniques to close on the eye unseen from above, below, or behind. This organism and the common peeper share a common ancestry, so that means the alpha peeper turned into this. While the eye has sacrificed maneuverability, it shares and enhances its cousin's powerful eyesight. The ancestral alpha peeper, okay, there it comes up, may have been one of the first life forms on this planet to develop eyesight many millions of years ago. We'll do the small tanks here first, and then we'll head into the big tanks. We have the oculus here. The specimen shares genetic similarities with the common peeper. While the shallows and the cave systems are separated by just a few meters of rock, foodstuffs and threats in each biome are completely different. It is possible a small school of peepers was once cut off in these caves, and the oculus species is how they adapted. They're highly developed to night vision. Large, complex eyeballs provide this herbivore superior vision in the dark and intense phobia of light. While the peeper uses its beak to break down tough corals, the oculus likely feeds on soft fungal growths of the jelly shrooms and thus has no need for one. The caves in which the oculus lives make it hard to escape from fast predators. The oculus is adapted by splitting its tail fin into 5 separate tendrils. These tendrils prevent it from swimming as fast as its shallow water cousin, but each can be detached and regrown, enable it to escape more easily. So if it gets bit, it can just lose that and run away. Interesting. Then we have the Reginald here. A small herbivore and a distant relative of the common peeper, sharing the species' well-developed side-facing eyes. It has dull green coloration for deep water camouflage, a luminescent tail coloration likely part of the mating behaviors. In its diet filters algae and other plant materials from the water via 4 gill-like forward-facing orifices. It's good for food. Alright, we're going to head back this way, because this is going to connect to the lava lizard. So we have some lava lizards in here. Medium-sized predator adapted for life in volcanic regions and remarkably able to spit molten rocks at its foes. Forward-mounted mandibles designed to do maximum damage to prey. Sharp internal teeth tear through the flesh and bone alike. Likely due to regular exposure to magma, lava lizards build up a thick layer of scar tissue over time, which enables them to withstand even greater temperatures inside and out. It is both able to defend itself by burying its body in magma and to go on the offensive by spitting magma at its foes. Avoid, especially in the presence of lava flows. These ones don't have the molten rock on their back too, which is because they were born in captivity. which is an interesting tidbit. Here we have the cuttlefish, which would actually probably be under a large herbivore, right? Yeah. A small gray-colored herbivore, the cuttlefish displays high levels of intelligence, curiosity, and attachment. Strangely, this species has not been encountered in the wild, and scanned specimens had to be artificially hatched within an alien containment. In the absence of wild specimens, little can be known about its life cycle. It is possible that the environmental conditions have changed, forcing the species to the edge of extinction and leaving its eggs in a permanent stasis. It is also possible the cuttlefish has been genetically altered or even brought to this planet. Behavior. We do know the cuttlefish is a herbivore, which displays highly social behavior in its interspecies interactions, as well as is observed in earth dolphins before their extinction. Oh, wow, earth dolphins died out in this game. This creature seems to understand the concept of other minds, the prime indicator of true sentience, and attempts to communicate with a series of chirps and chirrups. Interactions. Evidence suggests the cuttlefish is capable of understanding and following simple commands in addition to assessing the emotional state of individuals around it and responding in kind. It has emotional connection between living creatures and is an essential component of psychological health. Then we have the crab squid here, which is right here. Has this, the crab arms and then obviously the squid legs. It's a large predator, can be found in deep waters where it lurks amongst the blood kelp and membrane trees in search of prey. It can deploy a powerful electromagnetic pulse to defend itself, which is a weird ability to have because it really only works against us. I don't see any other fish where that would be helpful, except the eel maybe. 10 limbs featuring different appendages for swimming, walking, hunting, and possibly even tool use. The creatures caught in its grasp are expertly butchered and quickly consumed. Rays and other illuminated herbivores are its usual prey, and it will approach and attack any light source in the vicinity. Its EMP blast was likely developed as a response to predation by creatures with electrical hunting mechanisms, the eel. While crab squids appear to have large brains and a resemblance to the intelligent squids of Earth, the organ inside the creature's head is in fact its stomach, which it must fill with startling regularity. Neutralizes electrical equipment, lights, attracts its unwanted attention. So this is not a brain, it's actually its stomach. That's weird. It's a very weird design. Alright, to the next floor. We have the hoopfish to start. A small school mentality prey fish with a unique method of propulsion and a distant relative of the bladderfish. Rather than swimming, this life form uses fine green antennae which encircle its body to alter the composition of the water in front of it, allowing it to sail into the low density space created. Maybe camouflage adaptation for mid-range light wavelengths, possibly indicating the hoopfish is more active at dawn and dusk. While schools of the hoopfish will form periodically and evade predators en masse, this behavior is more social than defensive. And lone hoopfish are often found hunting for food and displaying generally curious behavior. Interesting. That's a bladderfish relative. Then we have our toads over here, or frogs, if you want to call them. But they're also called hoverfish. Their actual name. A small, cautious herbivore commonly found in the kelp-rich environment, charged foot pads. 6 unique limb appendages features charge pads capable of ionizing the surrounding water. The hoverfish uses this ability to maintain its position against the current as it feeds from kelp and lichen. Then we have our boomerang fish here. A herbivore encountered in large numbers, found in frequent shallow waters and moves in schools. Serrated teeth suggest adaptation for grinding corals and other herbivores are unable to digest. Other corals that other herbivores can't digest. Okay. Twin fins. Usually, this species' 2 fins are cartilaginous extensions of its skeleton. They are less prone to damage and provide superior propulsion, but are also harder to grow back. The bright blue tips are in fact the ends of the digestive tract where the luminescence of the corals it consumed is most focused. Most active during daylight hours and prone to flee on approach, the boomerang can more easily be observed at night, wherein its luminescence gives it away and it seeks the shelter of the seabed. Interesting. And we have our spadefish. These actually grow in an egg as well, I learned. A medium-sized herbivore found in deeper waters. It's creepy looking. Observed swimming near the seabed from where it can keep its one eye on predators above, which is most likely why the sand shark, which lives near it, it actually stays in the sand because these can't see it. Observed swimming near the seabed. Yep. Commonly encountered in plant-rich environments, the spadefish is well adapted to hide amongst the vegetation. Spadefish tend to move in loose shoals, and despite their low speed, will take necessary measures to avoid confirmed predators. Yep. All that lines up. So here we have the amp eel. Amp eels, I should say. It is a powerful and inquisitive predator found inhabiting the deeper waters of the reefs and the bulbous colonies. Its torso's mounted prongs generate a powerful electrical current which the amp eel uses to incapacitate its prey. A large flexible jaw studded with sharp teeth. If a faster, stronger, or hungrier predator lives on the reef, it appears to avoid the amp eel. Man, I'm starting to lose the ability to talk. I've been reading so much. But yeah, other predators don't even want to mess with it because it's going to just shock them. Interesting. You have our mesmer here. It opens up. It opens up and it has like that kind of mouth. A small carnivorous life form with a unique hunting mechanism that enables it to hypnotize its foes. Outer wings. The mesmer swims using a number of wings which can be angled up and forwards on approaching its prey. Tiny lenses on the surface can be tilted independently to create a mesmerizing pattern which flood the victim's brain with enticing messages, interpreted in whatever form is most convincing by the target. For us, it was the PDA. I got bit by one of these, I think, like 4 episodes in or something. I think it actually might have been my deleted footage. My corrupted footage, I should say. The mesmer can open with jaw-like recesses in its protective outer shell in order to share its beauty, do not resist. That's funny. Assessment, draw closer. I like it's like it corrupted the PDA. We have our jelly rays. I want to say these ones are called jelly rays, yes. This species has adapted to low light environments with its translucent and luminescent body. They were in the mushroom forest and that's where we found the eggs. This adaptation may help to light up the surrounding areas for foraging, ward away predators, and identify the organisms to others of its kind. Smaller creatures have been seen swimming in the jelly ray's wake to take advantage of light sources for their own ends, and the ray itself will approach light sources, perhaps mistaking them for others of its own species. Then we have the crab snakes here. The life form appears to live in symbiosis with the local flora. All encountered specimens have been located within 50 meters of a jelly shroom flora, frequently within the plant themselves. They hide inside the jelly shrooms. It has 2 pairs of fangs, 1 larger claw on either side. It plunges these into its prey, locking them in place while the inner jaw tears through the flesh. Jelly shrooms provide the perfect lair for which to ambush their prey and protect their young. The presence of the crab snake likely deters herbivores from feeding on the jelly shroom itself, thus ensuring the relationship continues. Crab snakes display territorial behavior while threatened, patrolling the cave system in which they reside. They actually attacked the Degassi base that was built in their habitat. And then we have some sand sharks. A powerful medium predator that burrows into the sand and ambushes its prey from below. which probably makes it good for the spadefish. As with many predators, it may be possible to temporarily distract sand sharks by feeding any hungry specimens that draw close. The forward dorsal fin, the unusual location of this fin suggests a purpose unrelated to movement through the water. It may be employed in shifting sands beneath the surface or in mating rituals, or it just may be an evolutionary dead end. Segmented exoskeleton. The thick armor plating renders the sand shark almost immune to attack from above. While it is capable of impressive acceleration, its exoskeleton prevents it from changing direction quickly. The sand shark is thus a perfectly designed ambush hunter, but ill-suited for sustained pursuits. It has feet that are ill-designed for ambulation, likely used to disturb the surface of the sand so the life form can burrow into the ground. Assessment: avoid. Be vigilant for ambush in sandy biomes. And then we have the sea moth destroyers from like episode, I want to say like 17 or something. It's called Sea Moth Lost. Definitely check that one out. Bone shark. A large and powerful predator that lives in small groups and fiercely defends its hunting grounds. Yes, it does. Thickly armored exoskeletons suggest defensive adaptation either to larger predators or in-species aggression. Marked similarities to segmented exoskeletons of the sand shark suggest they may be relative to a common ancestor. They have large eyeballs consistent with high light sensitivity, likely for hunting of luminescent prey in low light environments. Generally slow and unresponsive as means of energy conservation. They will act with uncompromising speed and aggression against any threat in their territory. Avoid. May be distracted by light. Alrighty. Let's head back up. We're on the final floor, guys. And then we go up to our main base. We have the beautiful peeper here. One of the first fish we saw. Peeper. Very threatening. A fast prey fish encountered in the shallow waters and rich in protein. Developed side-facing eyes capable of discerning colors not just in shallow waters but in a variety of lighting conditions. It is also able to close its eyelids, thus preventing light from reflecting off the lenses and rendering the pupil almost invisible to nighttime predators. So I saw this thing during my playthrough with its eyes closed and I literally thought it was a different fish. Powerful fins. This species has evolved powerful fins which enable rapid acceleration in still water and the ability to leap meters into the air to avoid pursuers. We did, in my earlier playthrough, see it jump out of the water. Beak. Likely used to break down corals and tough vegetation. An unusually large nasal cavity serves no obvious purpose and appears to be specifically evolved to detect a single specific enzyme. Nothing encountered on the planet so far produces a matching odor. I think that's enzyme 42, which we found later. The tubes attached to the peeper's torso are connected directly to its stomachs and gills and appears to be designed to expel its contents on demand. Purpose unclear. While the peeper is well adapted to survive in shallow waters, a number of features serve no discernible purpose. It would appear to be just well suited to survive in deeper waters and is somewhat more intelligent than the usual small herbivore. Edible. High calorie count, further research required. Also, I believe it can expel its contents because it evolved to release the enzyme. Because we saw them releasing the enzyme. So I think that's why it has that ability. It helps keep it alive and other life forms alive. So we have the bladderfish here. I almost forgot its name. The bladderfish. This unusual herbivore appears to be mostly defenseless and bears little resemblance to other life forms around it. Semi-permeable bladder. The bladderfish is able to filter water and seawater into its body cavity through a unique membrane which surrounds its spine like a bladder. This allows it to remove and consume organic particulate caught on the way and adjust its buoyancy. Open-end vascular tubing can be angled and contracted to pump out water and achieve low velocity guided propulsion. Largely oblivious to threats and practically immobile at night, its only identified defense mechanism is that it's composed almost entirely of water, air, and cartilage. Edible. Oxygen may be retrieved from the bladder and added to tanks on consumption. Membrane has applications as a natural water filter. That was our original water source, guys. So here we have Garyfish. very weird looking. Slow moving and curious herbivore. Camouflage indicates adaptation for evasive behavior on the ocean floor. Has eye stalks, may be beneficial when watching for predators from hiding places amongst the coral. More active during daylight hours, but slow and docile at all times. The garryfish's survival depends on a combination of camouflage and the predators who can get a more filling meal elsewhere. So it's not a very good survivor. You'll be safe in that tank, I promise you. We have the whole fish, which is the last of our little fish, I think. So we can close this up. A very small herbivore found in low numbers, often around cave system entrances, where their skin and coloration blends into the background. Bored out tail fin. By manipulating the size and shape of its hole, its tail can perform unpredictable maneuvers. Interesting. Smaller than most other herbivores, presumably due to the lack of vegetation in low light environments, and it's also edible. We can close out the small herbivores tab, save some space. Oh yeah, we actually do have more small herbivores. I forgot about these two. These two were added. We have the red eye, which doesn't have a picture. A smaller herbivorous creature with poor maneuverability evolved to inhabit high temperature environments. So deep red and orange coloration enables this subspecies to blend in with the volcanic environment, thus rendering it almost invisible to most predators. Delicate light-based eyesight is impractical at those temperatures, and the red eye has developed thermal vision in its place. In this species, volcanic domain, edible plant matter, and potential predators are the coldest entities in range. We also have the magma ring, which is this baby right here. This organism has adapted from the common boomerang and evolved in high temperature environments. Coloration. Dark red coloration helps the subspecies to blend in with the rocks. Orange detailing resembles active lava flow, deterring more cautious predators. Behavior. Marginally bolder than its shallow-dwelling cousins, the magma ring will nonetheless flee any larger creature than itself with impressive speed. Those are such weird-looking creatures, man. They're like little teeth. Anyways. We have the stalker here. Now we can close out the small herbivores because we're done with them. The stalker. A streamlined predator encountered in the kelp forest and weight of prey leaving the safety of the shallows to feed. The stalker likely carved out its evolutionary niche at the sweet spot between speed and size millions of years ago, and may be one of the oldest species on the planet. The stalker appears to be attracted to titanium deposits, which tend to sharpen and put stress on its teeth. As with many predators, it may be possible to temporarily distract hungry stalkers by feeding them. The stalker's teeth are unusually hard and fast-growing. Its elongated snout can deliver huge biting pressure to large attackers, while also being used to reach small herbivores seeking refuge amongst the rocks. Retinal layering on the eyeball suggests adaptation for nighttime hunting. These ridges can be moved independently to deliver superior maneuverability. Long and powerful, the stalker has evolved to hunt the fastest of prey. Stalker teeth are used for glass, which we know. And then we have the gasopod right here. He looks like he's wearing a gas mask. He is actually somewhat dangerous because he shoots out gas pods. A slow-moving life form, one of the larger herbivores on the planet, providing a substantial meal to would-be predators. The gasopod protects its domains by filling the surrounding waters with poisonous and corrosive pods, whose contents dissolve even synthetic fibers. Thick, non-reactive skin and multiple gill layers renders this creature impervious to the gases that they release. A bulbous sac-like appendage at the rear end. A luminous yellow algae grows inside the sac and produces poisonous compounds. Abdominal muscles can contract, causing the algae gland to emit the noxious compound into the surrounding water. It's capable of powerful movement through the water when moving in small herds. Gasopods appear to be social in nature and may even use their emissions in their relationship rituals. Their audible calls are likely signifiers of nearby threats or food sources. Approach with caution. Acidic pods may be retrieved and repurposed. Just gotta get them before they explode. We're coming to the end, guys. We can actually close out the carnivores. We went through them all. We have the rabbit ray here. A herbivorous aquatic lifeform, rabbit rays appear to live serene and solitary lives with few predators and a natural sense of curiosity and an awesomely poisonous flesh. Twin orange appendages mounted on the head sense vibration in the water. Markedly similar method of transportation to that of Earth rays. Serogenetic resemblance detected, suggesting these two species independently developed similar solutions to their environmental circumstances. Evidence indicates its large side-facing eyes are relatively recent adaptations. It is likely that they are related to the ray species in other environmental biomes on the planet. It's inedible, but it is harmless. Because it's poisonous, you can't eat it. And then we have our crash fish, our explodey boys. They might be under small herbivores. Did I not scan these? Did I never scan a crash fish? Oh, I never scanned these guys. I had this. Here we go. Got in the tank and scanned one. This unusual specimen has developed an emergency defense mechanism based on mutually assured destruction. Enables the creature to identify and track potential predators. The sulfur plant has evolved to feed on sulfuric compounds secreted by the crash fish, which makes its nest within its leaves. Stronger, more protective plants provide superior nesting grounds, which in turn provide the plant with more nutrients from the larger crash fish. Its defense mechanisms. Concentrations of sulfur build up in the organism over time. If the crash fish collides with something at sufficient speed, the spikes on its torso are impacted, triggering an explosive chemical reaction. Equip a stasis rifle, repulsion cannon, or similar before approaching shallow caves. So that's the aquarium. Everything that you can capture, and then the first part we had pretty much all the pictures and the flora. So these are two good videos if you ever just want to catch up on your lore of the fish, and if you don't want to catch up on lore of the fish, you can always watch the base tour where I just go through and I look at them all quick, along with the pictures of the ones I can't grow in tanks. Anyways, guys, this is probably going to be my last video for Subnautica. I really appreciate everybody who's watching and enjoying these videos. I know this one's dialogue heavy. That was kind of the point. This was just to enjoy all the fauna and the flora that we found along the way. Some of which we can't, you know, actually get, like that coral out there and some of the coral in the lava zone, but I got most of it for you, so I'm pretty happy. Anyways, it has been an absolute pleasure. I hope to see you in my next playthrough. I'm not sure what that will be yet, but we will see when we get there. Alright, have a good one. Thanks for joining me, and Mystic Games out. Later, guys.